During a heartbreaking funeral, a loyal German shepherd suddenly walked toward his owner's coffin and refused to leave. Nothing could move him away. Not food, not commands. But when mourners discovered the emotional reason behind the dog's behavior, the entire church broke down in tears over the unforgettable bond they shared. Before leaving for one final rescue mission, firefighter Michael softly promised his loyal dog Rex that he would return home soon. But after tragedy struck, Rex waited endlessly for the person he loved most. What happened later at the funeral shocked everyone and revealed a heartbreaking story of true loyalty and love. The entire church fell silent when a German shepherd placed his paws against the coffin and cried beside his owner for hours. People tried everything to move him, but the loyal dog refused to leave. Then a hidden secret inside the coffin revealed the emotional truth that shattered everyone completely. First, nobody understood why Rex refused to leave the coffin during the funeral. But when a firefighter discovered an old red dog collar hidden beside Michael's hands, everything changed. The emotional message engraved on the tag revealed a heartbreaking truth about how the dog and his owner once saved each other. Every morning before sunrise, Michael and Rex ran through the quiet streets together. Neighbors smiled whenever they saw them because their bond was impossible to ignore. To Michael, Rex was never just a dog. He was family, a loyal friend who stayed beside him through every peaceful and difficult moment. After long shifts at the fire station, Michael loved spending calm mornings on the porch with Rex beside him. The dog would quietly rest his head on Michael's lap, completely at peace. In those simple moments, their friendship felt stronger than words, built on trust, love, and years of loyalty together. At the fire station, everyone knew Rex by name. While firefighters rushed around preparing equipment, Rex stayed calmly beside Michael like a true partner. The dog watched his owner with proud eyes, always alert and ready. Their connection inspired everyone around them and became unforgettable inside the station. Years earlier, Rex had been abandoned and left terrified inside a cold shelter cage. Weak, scared, and heartbroken, he trusted nobody anymore. Rain poured outside, while the lonely dog curled into the corner. Nobody imagined that one life-changing moment was about to give Rex a second chance at happiness. The first time Michael saw Rex, something instantly felt different. The frightened dog slowly lifted his eyes toward the firefighter, unsure but curious. Michael gently knelt beside the cage and spoke softly. In that emotional moment, both of them unknowingly found exactly what they had been missing in life. Whenever Michael returned home after dangerous rescue missions, Rex exploded with excitement and sprinted across the yard toward him. It didn't matter if Michael had been gone for hours or days. To Rex, every reunion felt special. His loyalty and unconditional love made Michael's difficult life feel complete again. Late at night, Michael and Rex often sat together beneath the stars in peaceful silence. No words were needed between them. The calm moonlight and cool night air made those moments unforgettable. Michael once said Rex understood him better than most people ever could, and maybe he was absolutely right. One stormy evening, the peaceful atmosphere suddenly changed when Michael received an emergency call. Lightning flashed across the sky as tension filled the house. Michael immediately understood the situation was serious. Outside, the heavy rain and strong winds almost felt like a warning of the heartbreaking tragedy approaching fast. Michael quickly prepared his firefighting gear while Rex watched nervously from nearby. The German shepherd paced anxiously across the room as if sensing danger ahead. Even though emergency calls were normal, this night somehow felt different. The tension inside the house grew heavier with every passing second before Michael finally left. As Michael walked toward the truck, Rex barked louder than ever before. The dog scratched near the door and refused to calm down. It was almost like he was trying desperately to stop his owner from leaving. Deep inside, Rex sensed something terrible was waiting out there in the storm. Before driving away, Michael knelt beside Rex and gently held his face. He smiled softly and promised he would return soon. Rex stared deeply into his owner's eyes, refusing to look away. Neither of them realized this emotional goodbye would become the very last moment they would ever share together. Across town, a massive warehouse fire exploded into the night sky. Flames towered above buildings while thick black smoke filled the air. Firefighters rushed into the dangerous chaos without hesitation. The heat became unbearable, but Michael focused only on saving the trapped workers still fighting to survive inside the inferno. Inside the collapsing warehouse, Michael risked everything to carry injured workers through walls of fire and falling debris. Every second became more dangerous than the last. Despite the terrifying conditions, Michael refused to stop helping others. His bravery saved lives that night, even though it would ultimately cost him his own. Hours later, emergency lights reflected through the rain as firefighters stood silently outside the destroyed warehouse. The terrible truth slowly spread across town. Michael had rescued others, but never escaped himself. The storm continued pouring from the sky while sadness and disbelief filled the hearts of everyone who knew him. That night, Rex sat beside the front window, waiting patiently for Michael to come home. Rain slid down the glass while the lonely dog watched every passing car hopefully. Hours passed in silence, but Rex refused to move. Deep inside, he still believed his best friend would walk through that door again. Every time headlights appeared outside the house, Rex instantly lifted his ears with excitement. Hope filled his eyes for a brief moment before fading away again. The sound of cars passing became heartbreaking reminders that Michael was never returning. Still, Rex continued waiting faithfully, unable to understand why everything suddenly changed. Emily tried placing food beside Rex, hoping he would finally eat something. But the German Shepherd barely reacted. The energetic dog everyone once knew had become completely silent. Watching Rex suffer made the pain inside the house even heavier because his heartbreak reflected the same sadness everyone else was feeling too. Night, Rex quietly slept beside Michael's empty bed under the pale moonlight. Sometimes soft whimpers echoed through the dark room, as if the dog was dreaming about his owner. Even in sleep, Rex refused to leave Michael's side. His loyalty remained stronger than the painful reality surrounding him now. A framed photograph of Michael stood, surrounded by candles, while Rex stared at it silently from across the room. The warm, flickering light reflected in the dog's sad eyes. Nobody needed words to understand the pain inside him. Rex wasn't only grieving a person. He was grieving his entire world. Emily sat quietly at the kitchen table, trying to hide her tears while Rex rested nearby. The once happy home now felt empty and cold without Michael's laughter. Both the grieving widow and the loyal dog shared the same unbearable sadness, learning together how difficult life could become after losing someone deeply loved. Late at night, Rex stood alone in the dark hallway staring toward the closed front door. The silence inside the house felt endless. Even after days had passed, the dog still waited faithfully for footsteps that would never return. His heartbreaking loyalty became impossible for anyone around him to forget forever. Rain fell softly outside the church as mourners gathered to say goodbye to Michael. Firefighters stood proudly in uniform beside the flower-covered coffin, struggling to hold back tears. The heartbreaking silence inside the room reflected the deep pain shared by everyone whose lives had been touched by his bravery and kindness. Emily sat quietly in the front row dressed in black, tears streaming down her face during the funeral service. Every memory of Michael replayed painfully inside her mind. Friends tried comforting her, but nothing could fill the emptiness left behind. Losing Michael felt like losing the heart of her entire world forever. Without warning, Rex slowly entered the church aisle while everyone turned to watch him. The German Shepherd moved carefully through the crowd, focused only on one thing ahead. The emotional atmosphere instantly changed as people realized the loyal dog understood exactly where he was and why everyone had gathered there today. One firefighter gently reached out, trying to stop Rex from approaching the coffin. But the determined German Shepherd continued forward without hesitation. His loyalty was stronger than fear or confusion. The emotional moment left the entire church frozen in silence as Rex slowly walked closer to his beloved owner one final time. Rex placed his paws against the coffin and released a painful cry that echoed throughout the church. The heartbreaking sound instantly shattered everyone emotionally. Tears filled the room as mourners watched the loyal dog mourn in his own way. In that unforgettable moment, grief became impossible for anyone to hide anymore. People throughout the church began crying openly while watching Rex lie beside the coffin. Even strong firefighters who had faced terrifying emergencies could not hold back their emotions anymore. The bond between Michael and Rex became painfully clear to everyone present, reminding them how powerful loyalty and love can truly become. For hours, Rex refused to leave the coffin no matter what anyone tried. Treats, commands, and gentle encouragement changed nothing. The loyal dog remained beside Michael in complete silence, determined to stay close to his best friend. Watching that heartbreaking loyalty left an unforgettable mark on every person inside the church. Captain Harris slowly knelt beside Rex after noticing the dog staring intensely toward one part of the coffin. Something about Rex's behavior felt different, almost purposeful. As Harris leaned closer, confusion filled his face. Nobody realized that a hidden detail inside the casket was about to emotionally change everything forever. Resting beside Michael's folded hands inside the coffin was Rex's old red collar. Time had faded its color, but the emotional meaning remained powerful. The sight instantly caught everyone's attention. It became clear Michael had carefully chosen to keep this special memory close beside him until his very last goodbye. The moment Emily noticed the old collar, she covered her mouth in shock. Tears immediately filled her eyes as memories rushed back into her mind. She suddenly understood why Rex refused to leave the coffin. The loyal dog wasn't confused. He recognized something deeply meaningful that connected him to Michael forever. Attached to the old collar was a small metal tag carrying a hidden message. The engraved words read, "Thank you for saving me too." The emotional discovery instantly broke everyone's hearts. Michael had never forgotten the bond he shared with Rex, because in many ways, they had rescued each other completely. Years earlier, Michael had emotionally struggled after losing his father and facing painful loneliness. Rescuing Rex from the shelter unexpectedly changed his life forever. The frightened dog slowly became his source of comfort, strength, and healing. Together, they helped each other survive some of the darkest moments life had brought them. Rex continued staring silently at the coffin while tears spread throughout the church. Somehow, the loyal dog understood this goodbye carried deeper meaning than anyone realized before. Watching Rex mourn so faithfully reminded everyone present that love between humans and animals can become stronger than words could ever truly explain. The entire church broke into tears after understanding the emotional truth behind the collar and engraved message. Michael and Rex had shared a bond built through pain, healing, and unconditional loyalty. What began as a simple rescue story had quietly become something much greater. Two souls saving each other through love. As people quietly discussed moving Rex away from the coffin, Emily gently shook her head through tears. She looked toward the loyal dog and whispered softly, "He belongs there." Her emotional words instantly touched everyone inside the church, because they understood Rex deserved this final moment beside his best friend. The funeral service continued peacefully while Rex remained lying beside the coffin without moving. Prayers echoed softly through the church as candles flickered nearby. Despite the sadness filling the room, the loyal German shepherd brought a strange sense of comfort to everyone present simply by refusing to abandon Michael even now. Firefighters standing proudly in uniform quietly wiped tears from their faces while watching Rex. Many of them had worked dangerous rescues alongside Michael for years, yet nothing had prepared them for this emotional scene. Seeing such loyalty from the dog reminded them how deeply Michael had been loved both at work and home. After hours beside the coffin, Rex slowly lifted himself and gently rested his head against it one final time. The heartbreaking moment felt almost human in its emotion. Complete silence filled the church as mourners watched the loyal dog say goodbye in the purest and most touching way anyone had ever witnessed. Candlelight softly reflected inside Rex's emotional eyes as he looked toward the coffin one last time. Pain, love, and loyalty seemed visible within his silent expression. Nobody in the church could hold back tears anymore. In that quiet moment, Rex's heartbreak spoke louder than words ever possibly could for everyone there. Very slowly, Rex stepped away from the coffin on his own for the very first time. It almost seemed as though he finally understood Michael was gone forever. Though heartbreaking, the moment also felt peaceful. The loyal dog had stayed until the very end, honoring the person he loved most in life. The church remained completely silent as everyone watched Rex walk away from the coffin. Rain continued falling outside while grief filled the room heavily. Yet within the sadness, people also witnessed something unforgettable. The purest example of loyalty and unconditional love many of them would ever see during their entire lives. Weeks after the funeral, Rex began visiting Michael's old fire station with Emily. The loyal dog often sat quietly beside Michael's locker for long periods without moving. Firefighters passed by emotionally, remembering their fallen friend. Even in silence, Rex's presence kept Michael's memory alive inside the station every single day. At tea first, the firefighters struggled emotionally whenever they saw Rex walking through the station halls. But slowly, the dog became a source of comfort for everyone there. They gently petted him and shared stories about Michael. Through Rex, the warmth, kindness, and spirit of their lost brother continued living among them. During a crowded community event, a frightened little boy suddenly became separated from his parents and began crying alone. Before anyone else noticed, Rex calmly walked toward the child. The loyal dog immediately sensed fear and sadness, just as Michael always had whenever someone needed help or protection the most. Rex quietly stayed beside the lost child, refusing to leave him alone until firefighters safely reunited him with his parents. The emotional scene reminded everyone of Michael's caring nature. Watching Rex protect and comfort others made people realize the loyal dog had inherited the same brave and compassionate spirit as his owner. Soon, firefighters started bringing Rex to hospitals and community visits where he comforted grieving families and frightened patients. His calm presence brought smiles during difficult moments. Without speaking a single word, Rex continued helping people heal emotionally, just like Michael had done throughout his entire life as a firefighter and hero. Wearing a therapy dog vest proudly for the first time, Rex gently comforted exhausted firefighters after difficult rescue calls. Many of them quietly hugged him during emotional moments. The loyal German Shepherd became more than a station dog. He became a living reminder of Michael's courage, kindness, and unforgettable legacy of compassion. As the sun slowly set behind the fire station, Rex sat proudly outside, looking toward the glowing horizon. The peaceful moment symbolized hope after heartbreak. Although Michael was gone, his spirit still lived on through the loyal dog he once rescued. And through Rex, that powerful love would never truly disappear forever.